The snow has melted, the plants are growing, and as the weather begins to change, all I can think about is how much I'm looking forward to summertime. Where you at, Will Smith? I've had a lot of great summers to remember, but one summer I'll never forget was the DeFi Summer in 2020. If you got into crypto in 21 or 22, I'm sorry to tell you, but you missed out on one of the most insane exponential pump parties in all of crypto, except for that one party with Sam Bankman-Fried and his Polycule. With the Metaverse, storage, AI, and other niche sectors of crypto popping off, will there ever be another DeFi Summer? I definitely think there's a chance, but there's one project in particular that could bring the heat all on its own, and that project is DYDX. Let's get it. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben, and today we're going to be taking a look at a very interesting project. A lot of great projects are defined by their leader. Ethereum has Vitalik. Cardano has Charles Hoskinson. Algorand has Silvio Micali. BitBoy Crypto has DZ. So if we're going to talk about DYDX, we have to talk about their founder, Antonio Juliano. Antonio got a degree in computer science at Princeton, and after he graduated in 2015, he went on to work at Coinbase as a software engineer for a little over 1 year. He was their 100th employee. According to his Forbes profile, he left Coinbase to be a software engineer at Uber, but then he left Uber to start a search engine for crypto applications. Antonio says this failed because he was too early to the party. After much trial and error, he took a long look at the way traditional markets evolve. First, assets are created. Then they are traded on spot exchanges. Then they're traded on margin exchanges. And eventually, people make derivative products on top of the asset. His idea was to build a decentralized derivatives exchange on top of Ethereum, because that was the logical next thing to build. Just 2 years after his graduation, Antonio managed to lock down $2 million in a seed funding round from big hitters such as Polychain Capital, Andreessen Horowitz, and his old friend from Coinbase, my uncle, Brian Armstrong. Antonio chose the name DYDX because in mathematics, DYDX basically means taking the derivative of a function. He set out to build a decentralized derivatives platform on top of Ethereum, and he did just that. The platform was launched in 2018, but derivatives didn't launch until 2020. Once derivatives launched, the daily trading volume shot up from $10 million to $30 million per day. In 2021, DYDX introduced a Layer 2 Starkware to shorten time of finality and reduce gas fees. With the addition of Starkware and liquidity mining, the daily trading volume shot from $30 million a day to roughly $2 billion a day. The craziest part of all this is that they did it with a 19-person staff. Now, more than ever, especially after 2022, we see how valuable decentralized exchanges are. Now, more than ever, we see why DeFi is so important and so useful, and why self-custody is mandatory. In fact, the collapse of FTX was a catalyst for a plethora of traders heading towards DYDX, rightfully so. To add even more incentive to onboarding onto the DYDX platform, your first 100K in trading volume are free of any fees. The only catch here is that if you live in America, you're prohibited from using the perpetual contracts. Definitely not the best news for all you leverage traders out there. And you can't even use your favorite trick to get around it. In their updated terms of service, it even says, use of VPN to circumvent the restrictions set forth herein is prohibited. Just because you can't use the platform in America doesn't mean you can't profit off the platform's native coin, DYDX. It's all about having another DeFi Summer, am I right? But I think this coin has high potential, and many people I believe will probably make serious gains with it. And if you want more insight to how to change your life through learning about crypto, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell for notifications. From a tokenomics perspective, the current price point is around a 1,000% pump away from its all-time high of just below 28 bucks. As for DYDX itself, They recently abandoned Ethereum and Starkware and have adopted Cosmos. They did this to increase transaction throughput and to work towards a fully decentralized future. Also, DYDX purposely avoided America to stay on the right side of the law. The move to Cosmos is in line with this too, because it would be easier to change their model on Cosmos if we get to a place with regulation where the rules change with their perpetual contracts. Moving forward, why do I think DYDX is a solid pick for DeFi? One, the coin already pumped 200% in the first 30 days of 2023. It's retraced a bit since, but is still holding above the 50-day EMA on the daily chart. Believe me when I tell you, this is one of those sneaky crypto picks you want to pay attention to. Not only because you can make money trading it, but because people actually care and use their product. Despite a turbulent 2022, DYDX still managed to increase the number of unique addresses holding DYDX by 33K. Not only are people using their platform, they're even backed by some of the best global investors in the world. This includes Andreessen Horowitz, DeFinance Capital, Paradigm, Polychain Capital, and many others. It's hard to bet against a project that's well-funded because even when the situation can seem dire, you know they'll find a way to turn it around for the sake of their investors and their shareholders. And by the way, just for full disclosure, as of right now, we are not invested in DYDX and BitBoy Crypto, but it is one that we're definitely considering for the portfolio. When we start building that, you'll be the first to know if we add it. But always remember, the success of the DYDX platform is what you're betting on if you chose DYDX as your bet in DeFi. If you're going to bet on a platform, you want to make sure they have volume, right? Just on April 2nd of this year, the DYDX platform saw over $1 billion in 24-hour trade volume with over 300,000 trades. My point is, the platform is putting up the numbers. So in my eyes, the coin isn't some random sketchy pick. They're not paying me to say this, by the way. Of course, we don't do sponsored content from tokens or coins. Just trader to trader. This is a coin I've got my eye on. DYDX coin is used for community governance, and the community is very involved in these votes. Always make sure whatever coin you're looking to actually has people who care. They have an absolutely massive ecosystem. And take a long look at this list and try to tell me that this project is already past its prime. This one's not an if, it's a when. Speaking of when, the roadmap continues to check off milestones on their road to full decentralization. DYDX v4 is projected to be complete by September this year. I'd expect nothing less from their leader, Antonio Juliano, who is ranked number 88 on the Cointelegraph Top 100 and the Forbes 30 Under 30 list for 2022. All in all, if you live in America, that doesn't mean you can't have yourself a DeFi Summer with DYDX. I don't see this coin sitting just outside the top 100 for very much longer, and the fact that its market cap is only $380 million, well, once they get back into the Billy Dollar Club, you may have already doubled your money. That's all I got. Be blessed. BitBoy out.